Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where finally, today, after years of trying to get one of these stinking things on the channel, I finally have one, and I am not disappointed. Now, yes, this is a concept. I realize I have been on a concept kick lately, but Concept has been on a kick lately. They have been spitting out some phenomenal knives that are competing with some of the top Chinese manufacturers out there. This one has been out now for like probably close to 3 years. It's always been aesthetically one of, if not my favorite concepts, but I've always wondered how good it was. People have always told me how good it was. Been trying to get one. It took a while. I finally have one. It's actually, I think, the newest version of it. This is, look at those colors. Look at those colors and look at this. This is the Concept Fenrir. Now, before I go any further into this review, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. If you like what you see, please do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button, follow along, and I will continue to bring you the content. Now, let's take a look at some overall specs on this knife right here. But unfortunately, my printer does not want to print out the specs. So what I've done was just read over them a few times, and we'll go over the critical specs to this knife that y'all need to know about. So let's do that. We have an overall length of, I believe it was like 7.69, 7.68 inches. Blade length is 3.48 inches. And of course, we're gonna do size comparisons in a bit here to give you a really good idea of the size of this knife. We are looking at a blade steel of S35VN with what they call a drop point style blade. Now this is 138 thousandths thick blade stock, so slightly thicker than average. And the blade on this just really, like the way this choil and the harpoon up here with the thumb ramp was made, it's really kind of what pulled me into this knife along with the deployment methods. But the blade really did kind of suck me in. But yeah, S35VN, a very nice satin finish. This does have a flat grind. Now the handle, whoo, boy, oh boy, this handle, this thing is an absolute beaut. We have a right hand only tip up carry on the clip. Very nice clip, which we'll talk more about when we get to the handle portion of the review. When it comes to the handle material options for this guy, they are plentiful. There are so many. They're not all in stock, but there's still a very good selection of these in stock. This is the 80s camo carbon fiber from Camo Carbon. There are plenty of other variants ranging from G10, micarta, titanium, other types of carbon fiber. I believe there may be, there's a translucent, that's G10. But anyway, yes, plenty of flavors for this knife available. This is designed by Greg Schaub here, and there's his maker's mark, which is pretty sweet. But yes, this is not a knife you want to miss out on. This is not one you want to pass on. If you're looking at concept, this is the one that one of the few I would say that you really should check out first for a lot of reasons. One is the price, because the price on this is actually really good. Now, this particular version here is $238. That's mainly because of the Camo Carbon. Camo Carbon, especially the more exotic colors like this 80s Camo Carbon, it's just expensive. It's more desired. They're always a little more expensive for those materials. But you can get this knife for like $169 up. So, and they're available for $169, $169, $178, $198, a lot of different price points for this depending on the handle material primarily and the blade finish. I think most of them are in S35VN though. But yeah, that was the specs. That was a little odd way to give specs, but maybe after this video, I might go smash my printer because I think I've had it with that. I've been trying to fix it for like 25 minutes before I made this video, and I just don't have enough time in a day to mess around with a stinking printer. So anyway, there's your specs, kind of. Let's take a look at some size comparisons here and see just what we have. Let's compare it to some other big knives. Let's bring out the Civivi Conspirator. That's definitely one that is probably going to be very close in size, and yes, it is. What else do we have here? Let's bring out the Vosteed Raccoon. That's always a good one. Probably going to be a little shorter, but not much. Not much, as you can see. Very close in terms of overall length to both of those. And what else do we have here? Let's give some more examples. Here's another one of my favorites, the Kaiser Escort. And one more just to keep new ones all around. let's bring out my knife, the Vosteed Thornton. There you go. There's your size comparisons, guys. This knife right here, though, from Concept, I've been wanting to get it for so long because a lot of people were saying a lot of really good things about it. And I already knew I wanted to try it because aesthetically, I think it's a fantastic design. We are looking at a very, very sharp blade here, behind the edge reading of 17 thousandths. The blade just looks really cool to me. It looks like one that I would want to use. Has a great tip for piercing. Rather slicey, but also somewhat robust. I wouldn't call it a chunker of a tip, but it's a very good middle ground of a good user tip and also a very pointy, piercy, slicey tip. So very nice combo there. Ergonomically, it is really, really good around the blade. Would have been nice to have some jimping up here just because of that ramp, but it's also because of the ramp that I don't hate it without the jimping, because the ramp up kind of does still give you somewhat of a stopping point for your thumb. Thumb studs on this, no issues whatsoever. Thumb studs are on point. Very fun to deploy this knife. And yeah, it just, man, it comes together so good on this one. Some knives I gotta carry for a while. I have to have for a while and get used to really fully enjoy. I enjoyed this guy right out of the box, as I have with a few Concepts lately. It's like thoroughly enjoyed. But the handle on this guy, the handle is also great in multiple positions. You got your choked up position here that is awesome. And then it honestly feels just as good back here. And it also makes a little more room for your thumb up here on the ramp. So two very good, very solid positions to where I honestly appreciate, and I can see myself using the knife in both of those handle positions. So very nice to have those options. And then kind of what they did here, they basically reversed. Usually you have your titanium part of the handle up towards the top, and then you'll have the carbon fiber on layer inlay towards the bottom of the handle. They basically reversed that. And normally I feel like that's something that I don't know if I would agree with. Like, I would question that and be like, why would you do that? But it just works. It works, and it looks really cool on this. And it doesn't throw it off for me, which I think is very nice. And it also allowed them to do a very good job on this liner lock up here. I know it's just a liner lock, but it's really kind of a frame lock covered up with the carbon fiber to kind of make it a liner lock. Because as you can see down here, you have the milling and everything on the outside that kind of gives the look of a frame lock. But then, yeah, it's covered up with the carbon fiber handle there, which makes it a liner lock. So it's really cool. It's just a very, very backwards way of doing something while also not ruining it, while making it just as good and made no issues. Like, it was really cool the way they executed this knife. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with that. The pocket clip on this. This is pocket clip perfection. A while back, I made a video of the best pocket clips. This would have been in that video had I had this knife and experienced it beforehand, because it just disappears in the hand. It almost feels like a fixed blade with this thing because it's wide, it's fully contoured, so it's nice and round. It's just amazing. The point comes up at the right area to where you don't feel it at all in your hand. It's just a beautiful design of just the clip. Like, forget the knife, just the clip alone is a perfect design for this knife. So really knocked that out of the park. A lot of clearance, perfect amount of strength. Damn, it's a good clip. And everything else, just like the camo carbon mixing with the black titanium. There's a lot of really cool colorways and flavors of this knife. They're all going to be linked below and definitely worth checking out. But man, oh man, I am really, really enjoying this. Now that I have this, it is time to make, I think, a top 10 best Concept knives list, because they are officially that good. I don't do that for everyone because a lot of companies don't have 10 knives I like that much. Concept is officially there. And with this being out for so long, they've been there. I just haven't really had all the knives to do it with. So looking forward to bringing you guys that as I expand Concept in my collection. And we're not done talking about it. The action. I got to talk about this front flipper here. Reach around, approved. Very nice. Pretty easy reach around for a bigger knife. And yes, you can do kind of that comb over type deal that I call it. I'm really starting to question why I call it a comb over. That's kind of stupid, I guess. But I don't know what else it is. Like the side index flick. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's pretty good to do on this knife. And usually bigger knives are not that enjoyable to do it with. So that's cool. And of course, just your regular front flip is also very smooth, very addictive, very enjoyable. Middle finger flick. Check that off the list. Good to go there. And of course, the thumb flick, it's good to go. It's a fidget beast. It looks like a beast. Beautiful blade, slicey blade, great handle. This is a winner, guys. This is a winner. This is arguably the best concept knife ever made. But I will determine that, at least in my opinion anyway, I will determine that in my top 10 video coming at you guys at some point here, probably within the next couple months, because I don't know, maybe Concept will come out with another amazing knife within the next month. Maybe I'll hold off. I don't know, but it's coming. The Fenrir has been here. Check it out. Pick one up. They're definitely worth checking out. I think they're a perfect sample to get into the Concept lineup, and it's just an absolute banger. Let me know what you guys think of the Fenrir. I really hope you enjoyed it. Hope you have a great rest of your day, and until the next one, I'm out.